What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another. This isn't standard. This isn't arena. Where? What? Hmm? What? So this is Arena Update version 3.7, and we are going to be taking a look at the pre-modern format. So I wanted to, again, with standard, we got a new set coming out, Ninja Turtles, only in about a couple of days, depending on when exactly this goes up, and I wanted to try some different formats here. And the reason I wanted to show you this format specifically Premodern is because I'm playing my first very, very big Premodern event this weekend, and I think this is the deck that I'm bringing. Right now I'm deciding between this and the Mono Red Burn deck. Hopefully by the time this comes out, maybe I've already won the tournament. Who knows? Depending on, I think I'm gonna either upload this Saturday or Sunday, depending. But what I wanted to show you is this sort of madness deck list. Now, for those of you who haven't been or aren't familiar with Premodern, it is a format that encapsulates 1995 to 2003, 4th edition all the way through Scourge. And it's called Premodern because it's before they changed the modern card frame. So this card frame that you see right here looks very, a little bit older. This is the older frame. So pre-modern, before the modern card frame. The deck that you see in front of you here is a Madness deck list, which aims to utilize discard outlets and then enable discard outlets to enable cheap Madness threats. So Wild Mongrel, Patrol Hound, and Tireless Tribe, these are our discard outlets. You want to use those to discard cards like Basking Rootwalla. When you discard it, it's just a free 1/1 that can pump itself for 2 mana. Arrogant Worm, which when you discard it, is a 3 mana 4/4 trample. And let me tell you, the stats in this format, 3 mana for a 4/4 trample is basically the equivalent of Badger Mole Cub in standard right now. The other card that you have that you kind of want to discard is Glory. This has an effect that you can only use if it's in your graveyard, but it is a very powerful effect. You can pay 3 mana to give creatures you control protection from any color of your choice until end of turn. So that allows you to kind of make very, very good attacks. You can activate it before blocks, you can make your creatures unblockable, you can block their stuff and then give your things protection. Lot of ways to utilize Glory. We have Call of the Herd, one of the best spells in the format. 3 mana for a 3/3, 4 mana to flash it back. Just pure card advantage, and on top of that, 3/3 for 3. I know it doesn't sound like it because you're probably used to what cards that you see in standard. 3/3 for 3 is above rate at the time. Now, typically Madness decks are paired with blue for things like Careful Study and Frantic Search, other discard sort of, Madness payoffs for circular logic and things like that. The reason we're choosing to be white, so we have our discard outlets in white, Patrol Hound and Tireless Tribe, but realistically the biggest reason to be white is Swords to Plowshares. This is the best removal spell in the format, hands down. 1 mana, exile anything, there's no restrictions. Some of the removal spells say like mana value 3 or less, or destroy a non-black creature. This just kills anything without question. White also gives you a little bit more aggression because we're playing Savannah Lions here. And then this particular version that I found online is, I believe the architect of the deck, Umodian, who was the first person that I saw to win a challenge with this deck, has since changed the list a little bit and added a couple of curse scrolls, which is nice because they give you a little bit of extra reach later in the game. Mana base is, for a green-white deck, pretty straightforward. 4 Pain lands, 4 fetch lands. This deck is playing 4 Mishra's Factory and 2 Wastelands, so you have a little bit of utility in your mana base as well, and then a bunch of basics. The other big reason to be red is sideboard cards. Granted, Disenchant, Naturalize is also legal. You could easily just play Naturalize in your Celestia deck. But the 2 big reasons to be white out of the sideboard are Prismatic Strands, which is kind of a weird card, but you can pay 3 mana to prevent all damage that sources of the choice would deal this turn. You can also flash it back by tapping an untapped white creature you control. So it's another card that you can discard early on, get a little bit of value out of it later in the game. And then Armadillo Cloak, which is fantastic, kind of the OG, you might think of Unflinching Courage if you've seen that card. This is the original version of that card. This card is phenomenal against the red decks, as you can see why. 3 mana, give your thing +2/+2 trample, and effectively lifelink. From there you have Crumble, because this is a good way to kill Phyrexian Dreadnought, one of the more powerful and popular decks. Compost, very good against mono black. Whenever a black card is put into an opponent's graveyard, you draw a card. Tranquil Domain, good against Enchantress. You can kind of understand why. And then Tormod's Crypt, good against graveyard decks. A lot of the sideboard cards are very straightforward, even if you're not necessarily used to some of the cards themselves. So again, this is what I am thinking about bringing to this big pre-modern tournament this weekend, and I gotta tell you, I'm very excited. Thank you all for watching the intro. We'll be back to standard at some point in the near future. Don't worry about that. But until then, let's see if we can play some interesting formats. So without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for the first match. Most expensive cards, like the most expensive cards on MTGO, are really just ones that don't have a reprint, like Gloom, Dystopia, Curse Scroll, kind of. Like Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast are like 10 to 15 and maybe 20 in some cases. So those cards are maybe a little bit more expensive. But I would say for the most part, it's like relatively affordable. It's not too bad. Okay, I don't love milling to 5 here, but could not really keep the first two hands. We shall see what we are up against. Okay. Mountain could be goblins or sly. Funny enough, this is a goblin creature, but it is still more likely to be sly. Because the actual goblins deck does not play this card. It's funny because I can block the cadets, discard a card, then gain control of it. Keep the well, actually, blocks or becomes blocked. Yeah, it gets removed from combat anyways. Yeah, Goblin is pretty cheap online, too. The Sly matchup is, like, the reason to play this white-green deck. Although mulling to 5 does hurt a little bit. I'm going to try to get a little aggressive here. Actually, no, I really can't, because they can Grim Lavamancer the Patrol Hound. So I can't really afford to attack here. Yeah, Sly is cheap, this deck is cheap, Goblins is relative. Like, there's so many different decks that you can build on Magic Online for under 100 tickets. Again, like, the expensive cards will be the expensive cards. But, yeah, there's a good amount of decks you can build on Magic Online for relatively inexpensive. I see. Yeah, this is where mulling to 5 really hurts, because I just have less resources to save this Mongrel. I can discard 2 to save it, but they can also just ping it with Fanatics, so I'm just going to let it die. It sucks because now they can just kill this with the Lavamancer. Not in the best spot. Take 3. Best draw here is probably... I don't even know, maybe another Mongrel? It's not really that. I mean, I guess it's not an awful draw. I can dump it with the Patrol Hound. Yeah, I love the balance of, like, mana bases. You think of mana bases nowadays, especially in formats like Modern and Legacy, where your colors don't really mean anything. You know, you fetch out your one fetch land gets you all 4 colors in your entire deck list. And, like, you know, these fetch lands only get basics. There's no dual lands in this format. Like, you actually have to work for it to play even a 3-color deck. And sometimes even the 2-color decks have horrible mana. Like this deck. This deck, surprisingly, for a 2-color deck, does not have a great mana base. Because, well, mostly because a lot of the lists online are playing Mishra's Factory and Wasteland. But, yeah, for a white-green deck, it's not... The mana base is not fantastic. Aren't Wastelands, like, relatively inexpensive, though? Because it's just been reprinted so many times. Also, remember, you can get the gold border versions. Because 95% of the events that you play in paper, they will let you use gold borders. $17 on MTGO, even like the reprint versions. I'm okay with this exchange. Basically, it just means that I can't block this turn. What I was wondering if they would do is just let me block the... I guess they can't really let me block the cadets because then I just steal it. No second white source is kind of tough here. I want to play Savannah Lions and hold up Glory, but I can't do that. Also, Savannah Lions just dies to Mog Fanatic, so hold up Factory here. Has Tog been going up in price? Really? Even just like... Has Tog ever been reprinted in paper? Was it like in some sort of Commander deck or something, or Masters set? I feel like it was reprinted at one point. The reprint art? Is it that bad? I'm gonna look it up, because I feel like I've seen it before, but I just don't remember it. Yeah, that one's bad. Not in paper, though. Like the Vintage Masters version, not on paper. But yeah, what the fuck is this? Like, what is that? Yeah, you can't... Come on, you can't play anything but Dr. Teeth. How much are these? These are... They're still... Even in paper, they're still like 13 bucks. It's an uncommon. Yeah, but for an uncommon, that's still kind of pricey. I was the model for the VMA Tog body type. That's impossible because I was. We can't both be in the picture. The Winter Regionals. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. Because I think they made a tweet at some point. Let's see if I can find it. Duress Crew Winter Regional. There we go. This is the link to the event flyer. Edit. Regional. There you go. There's like the little flyer for it. Shows you the prize breakdown, what the event looks like, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm participating in that this weekend. It's in Massachusetts. May I block? All right, we can take the cadets. Cool thing is we still have the glory up. I don't know if they were supposed to make this attack. They're dealing 1 damage to me. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to Grim the Factory. I'm going to Glory, and then they're going to use a burn spell on it? Is that what's happening? I think that's what's happening. Red. Huh. I'm confused. Confused as to what happened there. Interesting. I kind of just want to attack with Factory and play... maybe Savannah Lions? I think I'm going to get on the offense here. I can kind of win this race. Went up on Factory. I mean, it's the same thing. I can only do one thing that turn. I guess I could hold up Disenchant in case they play something else, but... Yeah, I mean, I think they might just not have anything left over. Because they used a bunch of resources to try and kill this Factory. Which still hasn't worked. Like, they could have Lava Mincered us twice. Ow. I don't like that. I'm just dead to Fire Blast. 4 red. What the hell is this? Okay. Alright. Dead. I guess they didn't have nothing in their hand. They must have been sitting on the Fire Blast last turn. Alright, so cards that are good against red. Prismatic Strands, Armadillo Cloak. I did cut the one Absolute Law that I had in my sideboard, because I thought I had too many cards against mono red. But I'm going to board in these, and I'm going to board out. Disenchant doesn't usually have targets, although I don't know. It depends because a lot of newer versions of Red have been playing Pyrostatic Pillar instead of Ball Lightning. So if they're on that version, I kind of want Disenchant. Savannah Lions is kind of mid against Mog Fanatic. Curse Scroll good, Call good, Glory good. These are kind of the only cards that I truly want to get out of my deck is Savannah Lions. Everything else is pretty good. I could, like, trim a Call of the Herd because it's kind of expensive. Try to play 2 Disenchants. Just in case they have Pillar. And they also could have Sulfuric Vortex, too, which is a card you want Disenchant for. So, we'll do that. Yeah, sometimes they have Scroll. Sometimes they have Scroll, Pillar, Vortex. I think that's mostly it for enchantments that I care about. Yeah, Duress Curve is great. Like I said, I just never knew they were that local to me. I didn't know they were like a New England based. I will play first. Okay, so we have everything except green mana. Also, maybe I should have boarded out Wasteland against them. Wasteland is kind of treated as a spell some of the time. Seems really good if we draw green mana, though. And we have Swords to Plowshares. I think I talked myself into keeping a loose one. This is one of those don't try at home kind of things. This keep is not for those with a weak stomach. Yeah, like 1 or 2 rings, maybe. I mean, if I draw a force, the game is over, so... I mean, did you think I wasn't gonna hit? What did you think was gonna happen? That's the easiest game of my life, man. Is the game over? I think so. It feels like it is. I'd like to go to combat, please. I could have actually not attacked there. There's like a really cool trick. I don't know if anybody knows that you can do this, but with Prismatic Strands. So Prismatic Strands is a card that you can flashback for free by tapping an untapped white creature you control. You can turn Mongrel by its own ability. You can make it a white creature and then use that to cast the Strands for free. It's a really cool line. So you don't even technically need a white creature to be able to cast Strands, just with the Mongrel. Okay, now the game is actually over. I don't even really need to... Like, do I even want to cast this Call of the Herd? I think I'm just going to pass. I don't even want to cast this Call of the Herd, man. I'm good. There's some, like, situations that I could get into if I cast Call of the Herd. Destroy all white permanents. That's not nice. I don't like that. Alright, fine. We did get our 8 life out of it, though, so I'll take it. I will accept that trade. Mishra's Factory. Did I not play my land last turn? I don't think I played my land last turn, did I? I guess I was sandbagging the Wasteland, but that was probably stupid. No, I wanted to hold the card in hand to be able to discard an extra card, just in case, if they wanted to try and fight over the Wild Mongrel. But maybe that wasn't worth it. think I'm playing this deck this weekend. I'm either playing this or Mono Red. The one good thing about playing this deck is it has an unbelievably good Mono Red matchup. I don't exactly know what the local metagame looks like, so I don't know how many people actually play Mono Red. But I don't know. I've been playing a lot with this deck, and it feels like it has rough matchups into combo, but I think it's very, very good against a lot of the fair decks. Except for the ones that have Armageddon can be tough. Those can be tough matchups. Maybe this hand was not a keep. My only threat being Patrol Hound. Kind of awkward. What do we got? Okay. I mean, I can't really afford to hold the Patrol Hound. If they go for a Bolt end of turn on Patrol Hound, I think I will try to protect it. Because I really want this Patrol Hound to stick around for one more turn. I think this is worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make them trade one more card for the Patrol Hound. Do it this way. Tap. 8 Pint, thank you for the tier 1 sub. 29 months. Welcome back, 8 Pint. Thank you, thank you. Incinerate. Alright, don't kill my hound. Don't remove my dog, please. Just let me have the dog for one more turn. Like, it's just a cute little dog, you know? Nothing bad's gonna happen. Just pay no attention to the drool that's coming out of its mouth. You don't gotta worry about that. Well, it's kind of cringe. There was no way to... I mean, I guess... Yeah, there was no way to stop that. Because if I don't use the strands, then I just... You know, my hound dies and I can't flash it back. That was a good draw. Mama Mia, that was a good draw. Are we worried about a second Ball Lightning? This is kind of tough. If 3 cards in hand? I don't know if I should be worried about a second Ball Lightning. I think I just have to jam the Cloak. If they want to Fire Blast my Patrol Hound, I'm in. I am in for that. That is a trade I am willing to make. I think they might do it too. It depends on what the other 2 cards they have in their hand are. Yeah, if they have second Ball Lightning and I make this play, I go up to 13. The ball puts me to 5. So they would need to have, like, Ball Lightning, Fire Blast, and a Burn spell to kill me. Them tanking this much makes me think they 100% have Fire Blast, yeah. But I'm cool with that. They got 1 land, 2 cards. Going to 7 off this, but I can eventually hardcast this. No, it's different than lifelink, because it stacks. So if you have 2 cloaks in the same creature, you gain the life twice. That's a phenomenal draw. We just have to hope their hand is not all bolts. Oh no. I didn't like that. I also did not like that. Alright, I died. Came for the armadillo, stayed for the cloak. Came for the elephants, stayed for the worms. Something like that. Yeah, I can't imagine there's too many matchups you actually want Armadillo Cloak against in Standard. You know, Armadillo Cloak is not very good when your opponent's killing you on turn 4 every time. It's usually not the card you want. Portent. For you Legacy players out there, this is just Ponder, but you delay the draw. It's literally the same card as Ponder. Literally. Against Island Pardon, I want to fetch. I want to do my fetches as early as possible because they're probably a Stifle deck. So just fetch while they're tapped out. That's true, you can target your opponent with Portent, which does happen from time to time, especially in the Dreadnought deck. Like if you're setting up a Dreadnought, you Portent them to keep them off swords for a turn. It happens more often than you would think. I've seen some people play Predict, but not that many people. I like Predict. I think that card's good. Polluted Delta. So probably Psychotog. As long as they're not playing that heinous Vintage Masters version of Psychotog. I'm actually just going to hold up Worm here. If they fetch end of turn, I'm going to Worm them. Maybe I should have Upkeep Wormed. It could be Uzi, yeah. Could be Uzi. A little punished for not playing Call the Herd. I mean, this is just free, right? No reason not to do this. It doesn't accomplish anything, but it's literally free, so... Well, the jig is up. The jig is, in fact, up. Is there a point to fetching EOT? Well, if they had, like, a 2-mana spell they were trying to cast, you know what I mean? I guess if they fetched end of turn, I would probably just let the fetch happen, make them play their 2-mana spell, and then play the Arrogant Worm. But also, there was a benefit to fetching because they portented, and they drew 2 of their portent cards, so if they didn't want the third one, similar to Ponder, they would take the first 2 and then shuffle the third one away. Next turn. Oh. Alright, I'm going to fetch... I don't think they're playing a Stifle deck, but just in case. So I have a couple of options here. I can go Animate Factory and Pump Ruwala, hit for 6. I can Flashback Call the Herd, or I can do nothing and hold up Glory. I think the third option is my worst, so it's either Call the Herd or hit for 6. I think I'm going to Call the Herd here. Just because I wanna play my spells while they don't have mana for Counterspell open. So I think this makes the most sense. And them not knowing about the Glory is huge, because they may just not play around it. Also, them gushing there means they can't play... I was going to say they can't play Psychotog, but they're Uzi anyways. Let's see if they have Krovikan Horror Squee as a way to, like, keep making 2/2s. Okay. So why don't we just go here. 3, 4, 5, 7. Which would be a 2-turn clock, right? I'm not holding up the Glory on their turn if they have a black kill spell. So if they have a removal spell, they do have a window to, like, get my creatures. But I am going to do this. Who dat? Beta Brett, thank you for gifting a sub to Christmas. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted. Glory is such a messed up card. I think if there was any singular reason to play this deck, it would be Glory. It's just so messed up. What a card. 3 mana, give your creatures protection from all of your creatures protection from any color until end of turn. Banger. Banger! Oh, it's a lot more than Fog. Funny enough, it's not a 2-turn clock, right? Because I don't have enough mana to... I don't have enough mana to animate the factory, activate the glory, and pump the root walla, so I still can only deal them 7 next turn. So, depending on what's in their hand, they might be able to get out of this. Because they hit for 4. Well, I guess they only have 2 combat steps. Right, because they hit for 4. They can make 2 zombies now. Next turn they hit for 8. That's only 12. So I think we should be okay. Not playing with the tombstone next to the art. Is that only on the Dominaria Remastered version? Or is that just like a thing that they don't have on Magic Online? I actually don't know. Okay, so now the question is it better to animate the factory and activate the glory, or pump the root walla and activate the glory? It's the same amount of damage either way. So what's the difference? I don't think there is a difference, is there? 3, 4, 5. I guess if I animate the factory... No, it's the same, because I have 2 3s. I do this, I activate glory, they kill in response. Yeah, it's the same thing. So let's just go to combat. See if they want to, like, tap anything. We'll attack with everything before blocks. Do this. They may have a kill spell here. Okay, they don't have a kill spell. I'm curious now. I want to see if the Odyssey version has the tombstone on it. On Magic Online. Maybe they just removed it on Magic Online? Have I locked a deck for the event? I'm deciding between this deck that you're seeing right now and Sly. I'm probably going to play this deck, though. I think I'm very likely to play this deck. I'm going to check the Odyssey version. I can't tell. I can't zoom in. I don't think it has the tombstone, though. I think they just removed it on Magic Online. That's kind of weird. For reference, this is what we're talking about. I'll show you. Cards that, like, way back in the day, cards that had abilities or could be cast from the graveyard had this. You see in the top, see at the very top next to the wording, there's a little tombstone there. That was so you could reference that you can activate it or cast it from the graveyard. It was like a little, it's like reminder text kind of, but in the actual text. They don't do that anymore though. All right, what do we want against Uzi? I think Disenchant's good. Compost. I don't. How many black cards does Uzi actually have? I feel like they don't have that many. Crypt is very good against Squee. So I think it's some number of these cards. I don't know the Uzi decks well enough to know how many black cards they have. I feel like they probably don't have a ton, though. So maybe I don't want Compost. Yeah. I think I'm going to do, like, Patrol Hound, Cut the Lions, board in these 5. Maybe 4 Disenchants is too many. Maybe do, like, 3 Disenchant, keep the Patrol Hound. Try that. No, I need all 4. Because they're probably going to board in Dystopia as well. So post-board, they're going to have Dystopia, Zombie Infestation, maybe Engineered Plague. Yeah, they have a lot of enchantments post-board. Why is the deck called Uzi? So ZI, Zombie Infestation, U for the color blue. So people just call it Uzi. But it's blue Zombie Infestation. Oh, see, this hand's good because I can just go fetch my Temple Garden. Wait, why did I keep in Plow against them? I don't think Plow is good against them. That's probably the card I should have cut. Maybe not all of them, because they might board into Psychotog. But board up maybe like a couple of Plows. Because I think 4 Plow is too many. Since that card does nothing against Zombie Infestation. I don't think I can play Tireless Tribe. Yeah, I can't afford to, not with this hand. I have to wait. This is what I'm saying about the mana being so bad. And, like, maybe it's just not worth playing the colorless lands. Like, part of me wonders, does this deck really need Mishra's Factory? You know, like, how much does Mishra's Factory improve your matchup against the grindy decks? Because you sacrifice a lot in the mana base just to play these. Like, sometimes they come up, and they're not bad, but it makes the mana a lot worse. There are people who play Quiet Speculation, but most of the people who play, like, most of the Quiet Speculation decks are Oath of Druids. There are blue-green Madness decks, but for some reason this deck has been more popular than blue-green. I'm not even convinced that it's better, because the blue cards are very good. But Swords to Plowshares is a hell of a card. I don't think I want to discard these Call the Herds. Let's just do this. Let's make it, I don't know, red. Red dog. Yeah, but most of the decks that I've seen that have Quiet Spec are Oath of Druids. Oh no, not my lizard. 07 for the lizard. That's good. Well, I got something to do with this Mishra's Factory, I guess. That was probably the best card that I could have drawn there, honestly. Your turn. I'll draw a land eventually. This is not how the games are supposed to go. This is what we like to call load-bearing brushlands. But I would kill for a brushland right now. Kind of want to scoop to that. Alright, I am going to concede to that. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels weird to board back in Savannah Lions when they showed the Engineered Plague, but maybe I'll just board out 1 Plow. Keep all the Savannah Lions out. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe Curse Scroll is not great against them. Oh, I have green and white mana. We're cooking. I think you kind of have to keep hands like this. They're not great, but just hands that have both of your colors. It's more rare than you would think. Maybe I shouldn't have boarded in the Tormod's Crypts. It's not nice. No thanks. I'm good. I'll pass. I remember when deck lists would only show up in magazines. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. Elefante. Okay, maybe I should have played the Crypt. I wasn't thinking there was a reason to play the Crypt that turn until they deployed a zombie infestation, because now they can AK in response. But if they AK in response, then I can resolve Wild Mongrel, which is nice. Actually, the way this worked out is kind of good for me. Yeah, that's fine. Tres. It's bad if they have Dystopia. Like Swamp Dystopia's worst case scenario. Or no, wait, they have 2 blue. They can't play Dystopia this turn. We are chilling. No kill spell for the Mongrel either. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Good combat. I could main phase the Mongrel, or main phase the Worm, but I don't want to get it countered, so I'm just going to miss the 1 damage and hold it up. Just chill with the Worm up. Just me over here chilling with my Worm. I'm going to do this first, so that if they have some way to counter this, they put that into the graveyard and then I crypt them. Alright, proceed. Proceed! And we even have the Glory, too. So if they do have, like, Zombie Infestation make a bunch of 2/2s, we just have the Glory rolled up, too, which is nice. I'm curious if they have any graveyard hate they boarded in. Like maybe a Furnace. Same, honestly, Steve. Same. I used to get those magazines all the time. Inquest, Scry. I remember those. You would like flip them open to like the prices and stuff, and they would they would never be like up to date. I mean, the less information around that time, you know, so people like not many people cared about the prices as much. Data was not as readily available, I guess is the way to put it. A lot less data sharing, which some people could argue is a good thing, you know. All right, I'm gonna discard Glory. How do you feel about that? I guess I should have went to combat first, but I don't know why I did that. Okay. I mean, I had lethal anyways, but I should have went to combat first. And obviously, like, you know, there has to be some... You have to account for inflation a little bit, too. But even with inflation, things were just so much cheaper back then. Ooh. I like this hand. Big fan of this hand. Meow. Meow. Classic artwork. Ooh, mirror match? Could be a mirror. Yeah, Cradle's super cheap back in the day. You gonna plow me? Yeah, that sucks. I'll allow it. Combat. My hand is not really suited that well for the mirror match, I'll be honest with you. Although it's good that they don't have a discard outlet yet. I mean, I'm in real trouble if they find a discard outlet, but... I guess it also might not be the mirror match. Yeah, I was gonna say, it could just be Terrageddon. Terrageddon confirmed. I don't know how this matchup usually goes. Well, that's not bad. Sorry, adjusting. Okay, now the question is, do I want to deal them 2 or wasteland them? I believe I should wasteland them. So I'm going to do that. Cursed Scroll. Bro, can you stop? 3 of them things? You got 3 of them things? Alright. Only got 7 turns to go, baby. 7 turns to go. Cursed Scroll, naming swords to plowshares. Don't want to upkeep it. Okay, I guess not. Fuck me, huh? Ooh, banger alert. Banger alert. 11 turn clock spotted. It's an 11 turn clock right there. Better watch out. He's coming for you. Could be trade half of the standard card pool for Premodern and Arena. That's what I'm saying. Rith's Grove. Are they gonna get in me? Really? Alright. I mean, I'm in. They did pick up a land, so... Bang. Uno. Your turn. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but it's turn 8. It's turn 8. This is just business as usual, man. You know, this is just normal stuff. Completely normal things happening. Ooh, watch out. I drew a land. You're in trouble. I don't like that. It would be pretty funny if I win this game. Forest. I've increased the clock. No, I missed an attack. I have 6 too many times. I have increased the clock exponentially. All right, write this down. They should be at 7. If that matters, then rip. But they should be at 7. I'm not missing my attack this time. Come on, you draw your 4th swords. I would take a Mishra's Factory now. Factory or a Forest would be good. Alright, here's 12 life. All that work done for nothing. Wild Mongrel. The worst part about giving them 12 life is now they just get more life for the library. They don't even use it. The disrespect. Okay, plow number 4. I don't like that. Not a big fan of the 4th copy of Plowshares in the top 22 cards. I think I died. I'm dead. I guess I had one more turn to draw a Terrible Orb, or to draw a Swords to Plowshares, but... Off it! Alright, Disenchant good. I think. Because they have Mox Diamond and Sylvan Library. Crumble, Compost, Domain, Strands. Strands is kind of interesting against Terravore, but probably not good enough. Same thing with Tormod's Crypt. I guess I don't really have a ton that's bad against them. Can trim on Patrol Hound, Savannah Lions as always. Those seem to be the worst cards that get cut most of the time. Maybe can trim a Call for like 1 Crypt. Try that. I'm not even sure if Tormod's Crypt is that good, because you only get to get 1 player's graveyard. Where's my discard output? This is the same hand as game 1. I mean, I'm keeping it. I will be keeping this one. The lioning will continue until morale improves. I'm beginning to think this might be a bad matchup. Confirmed bad matchup. When I run a Mana Dork instead of the vanilla 2-1. The vanilla 2-1 doesn't look fantastic, but this deck is aggressive enough where I think you really do want it. Like, it's not fantastic for sure, but this deck is pretty aggressive, so I think it does make sense. Yeah, I know, this card used to be a rare. People don't realize that, but Savannah Lions was a rare. Just a little bit of power creep. You know, you could have Savannah Lions, or you could have Gran. I don't think I can win this race, but I'll try. I'll give it my all. Greed. 11. They have a 7/7. I go to 13. We need to find a plow. What do you think Savannah Lions would say today? Or what do you think Savannah Lions would say 30 years ago when it was printed, if he knew that Ragavan was going to be a 1-drop in 2026? I feel like he'd have something to say about that, you know? Savannah Lions also notably standard legal card. You can play that card in standard. Yeah, welcome to the future, old man. Okay, I hope nobody plays Terrageddon this weekend, because that was not pretty. We could maybe try Birds of Paradise instead of Savannah Lions, because Birds lets you go turn 2, call the herd, and that's kind of nice. Also, Birds fixes your mana base, so like, I could see it. I'm not opposed to it. The Wastelands feel kind of whatever. Oh yeah, it's Bosch. The Bosch and roll. What do you think he's doing today? Do you think he's Bosching or do you think he's rolling? I think he's rolling. Bosching. It is, yeah, it's Brian Cobalt. Schwamp. Can't wasteland that. Ow. Leave my cat alone. Oh no. This is tricky. Because I kind of want to keep the Wasteland in case we draw Call the Herd. I'm going to discard Swords, because if he had a hippie, he would have played it, I think. Okay. Ravena. Savannah Lion's mortal enemy. A rat. You know, historically, cats should be good against rats. Like, in the grand scheme of things. But you would think the cat would just eat the rat, but not this cat. And then Tuco Shade. Why is he playing fetches? I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason, but I'm not confident what the reason would be. Tuco Shade's gonna be tough. Maybe like Cabal Pit or something? Could be Cabal Pit, I guess. I think I've seen like a one of Cabal Pit in some of these deck lists. No attacks. Call of the Turd. For some reason, when I click on this song, I'm getting this playlist is not available. Why is that happening? Yeah, I'm getting playlist is not available. I don't know why. Smoother did. Do you have to, like, make the playlist public or something? Oh, I see. I guess we just keep playing guys? Because we'll eventually find a glory. So having more guys in play is good, because once we find glory, we're in a good spot. Okay, well. No longer at a great spot if I find glory, but... So, if I send the Mongrel, he can double block, but I'm okay with that. So I guess this is a fine attack now. Hound could maybe also get in there. Let's do this now for extra damage. The Rootwalla. Make it white. I don't know. Alright, 14. Here we go. Is this the song? It is. In the Queue for Florent. This is such a weird game. They can make their Nantuko Shade a 5/4. So I can trade Mongrel for it. I don't want to do that. I think, honestly, my plan this game might just be go as wide as possible, draw Glory, and one-shot them. We're a bit of a ways away from that, but I think that might be the plan. Honestly. Alright. Go. At least they're not attacking. Yeah, alright. Yeah, they're all gone. Ideally, we find Swords to Plowshares before the Glory. I'm actually going to save the rule, I think. Mishra's Factory. Go. Yeah, I mean, it's like, they can't attack, but also I can't attack. But I guess this holding pattern is kind of okay, because we will eventually find Glory. And once we do, we might be able to set up a one-turn kill. 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11... Yeah, we're getting close. I don't think I can quite attack them yet, can I? Like, if I go end step, discard Rootwalla. If I go end step, discard Rootwalla, untap, animate factory, send everything. What's their blocks? Nantuko Shade eats the Mongrel. Wretch blocks the Patrol Hound. Rats blocks the Savannah Lions. They would take 3, 6, 8, go to 5. They would lose the Rats and the Wretch. And I would lose Lions Mongrel. That's not bad, right? Yeah, they really only have one good block. Honestly, it's probably fine. And we'll see what happens, you know? We'll turn them sideways. You figure it out. It's not like we're dead on the crackback, so... I mean, their hand probably has some amount of removal in it, but... They really don't have a ton of great blocks. Their best block is Shade on Mongrel, Rats on Lions, and then probably Wretch on Patrol Hound to force me to discard. In which case, they would take 3, 6... They would take 10, actually, and go to 3. It's not bad. Something math is for blockers. I ain't doing the math. That ain't me. We have to assume they have at least one kill spell in their hand, right? Like, they're not just sitting on air. They gotta have something in their hand. Okay, so this means they have a kill spell for the Mongrel. I would like to pass priority if you're cool with that. So now I will pump this one. Maybe they have 2 kill spells, and they're interested in killing... I don't think they would want to kill a Rootwalla, though. Because the second Rootwalla is not doing that much for me. I only have 1 green source. Oh. I had not thought about that as a possibility. That's not great for me. That's kind of like 2 kill spells. No response to that. Any order. This is still 7 damage coming through. So I have to decide if I want to trade the Disenchant for a point of damage. 3, 7, they go to 5. I lose the Elefante. Next turn, I have 5 attackers, 2 blockers. I think I hold it in hand. I think I hold it. Or 4 attackers. 4 attackers, 2 blockers. Yeah, that's fine. So their last card is almost likely not a kill spell. Because if they had a kill spell there, they almost would certainly use it. That's very good. So attack here. They put Shade on Mongrel, Wretch on Hound. They go to 1. So I have to wait a turn. I think. Chat, is he trying other lists or just this green-white garbage? I mean, if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. I'm not forcing you to be here. I think I'm going to sack a factory, honestly. Yeah. This is Tireless Tribe, yeah. AKA, I guess you could call it Celestia Madness. But yeah, it's basically that deck. What's up, Daniel? To answer your question, chatter, we will play some other decks today. But for now, we're just playing green-white garbage. I'll allow that. They can name Arrogant Worm if they would like. I'm cool with that. Roar of the Worm. I mean, if I had that, I probably would have cast it. No, because the way that Madness works, it doesn't discard it to the graveyard. When you Madness something, it goes into what's called the Madness Zone. It basically, you discard it into exile. So it's not in the graveyard. It's like its own zone, basically. Alright, now I'm jamming. No fear. You have nothing. I know you have nothing. Come on. Come on. Oh, this is still not lethal. Right, okay. Why did I think this was going to be lethal? Yeah, they can just pump that a bunch. So now we do this. Make it black. So they have to pump one more time, which means they go to 1. All right. I don't know why I thought that was going to be lethal. But now we have 3 lethal attackers. They have 1 blocker. So we should be okay. The 2-1 no text is a bit tilting. Look, man, don't be talking shit about Savannah Lions, okay? Whatever you do, you can make fun of a lot of cards in this deck, but don't talk shit about my homie. All right. I feel like this card is good against mono black. 2 mana enchantment. Whenever a black card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may draw a card. I feel like that one's good. The people don't know about Savannah Lions, man. They just don't know. They disrespect the Savannah Lions. I do think Strands is good, yeah. Disenchant probably has no targets. Okay, just gonna go ahead and do that. No particular reason. We'll keep one in as the mascot. Look, man, I'm not trying to tell you that it's a bit like it's one of those things where like it's not a great card, but it's a good game 1 card when your game 1 plan is just, you know, just attack them, right? But it is certainly the weakest card in your deck, but that doesn't mean it's terrible. You know what I mean? I traded with Ravenous Rats. That Ravenous Rat's like 4 for 1 to me. Oh, right, they have Dystopia. Right. I forgot about Dystopia. Thank you, Chatter. I totally forgot about that card. Yeah, I need that. I need Disenchants. Is there anything else I should cut? Maybe No, I want Curse Scroll. Need Plow. Maybe I could trim a Call of the Herd? I guess I could trim a Glory, because it's not great against Withered Wretch, but I don't think I want to do that. Maybe just 3 Disenchant. Yeah, Scroll very good against mono black. Because if they don't have a discard spell for it, it's nearly impossible for them to get it off the battlefield. I guess Powder Keg, but I think Powder Keg might be the only way for them to do it. The Jund of this format, like traditional mid-range. I feel like Oath Speculation is probably more mid-range than Terrabor. The Oath decks that are playing like Quiet Speculation, Roar of the Worm, Deep Analysis, that kind of stuff. I guess the Rock, right? Yeah, I guess the Rock, maybe. I don't know. A lot of builds of the Rock are more control oriented, you know? Alright, song request for Shorv in the queue. They did show us Wasteland last time, so... And I'm not going to attack with Factory next turn, so I'll just deploy the 4-ast. That's not very nice. It's not good. Because now if they get a creature in play, they're definitely going to name Plow. I don't like this. Because they know we have one Plow in hand. This is bad. Oh, are we really doing this? Am I really doing this? I'm gonna do this. I have faith in the Arrogant Worm. I don't know if I should, but I have faith in the Arrogant Worm. He might just name it. Alright. Nope. Is the Wasteland for the Factory too? Best draw here is probably Call of the Herd. Well, fuck me, I guess. Yeah, Call of the Herd's probably the best draw. I mean, I'll take it. I will take it. Hold. Problem is we know he has Wasteland, so it's like, I still have to draw 2 more lands. Go. This is not good. Taking 5. Not great. Not great here. Not amazing. Jeez. Okay, that kind of helps. I would like to attack. Would you like to block? No. I'm just going to do this now so he can't gain a shit ton of life. The life could matter, because if I rip a land, we're going to get into a damage race with the Call of the Herd, so I don't want to just give him 3 free life. I don't like this. Actually, I should have not played the Mongra. I should have not played the Rootwalla. Because I'm just going to cast it off the Hippie for free. But it's not going to change anything. A little late to the party on that one. Little late to the party on that one. You have to draw the 4th Swords to Plowshares. It's not looking good, folks. It is not looking good. Why does this deck not have Library in the sideboard? I'm not sure. Library could be a good sideboard card. I'm not entirely sure. It certainly would be good for matchups like this. Three. Three. This will be half the draw swords this turn. I guess I should have just... Yeah, I should have played the tribe. I don't know why I didn't play the tribe. There was no reason not to play that. That was just dumb. That would have been good, like, last turn. Alright, do you want to change anything for game number 3? I guess I could board an Armadillo Cloak against them. I don't think I want that, though. Let's do it like this. This would definitely be a good, this would definitely be a good 7 library matchup. I think the sideboard is a lot more focused on beating mono red and enchantress more than anything else. But it's possible that you want to, like, just sort of retool the sideboard a little bit to have more, like, have a wider range of tools that are good against other stuff. I could see that. Does he name Compost or Mongrel? I feel like he should name Compost, but... Alright, good luck. Compost. I feel like this has got to be good. It depends on his hand. If his hand is a lot more, like, permanent focused, like Nantuko Shade, Withered Wretch, maybe he doesn't care about the compost as much. Yeah, stuff like that, you know. Kind of need a land here. Deal. I was going to say, don't you dare draw Arrogant Worm. Can you imagine? Draw the Arrogant Worm off of that. Get you for 1. I guess we're just going to deploy everything. I want to keep making land drops in case I draw Call the Herd. So, I also just want to empty my hand in case he has more rats. More rats in there. His deck has so many discard spells. Be pretty bad if he has Dystopia here. It's kind of like I willed that into existence, isn't it? It's almost like I said that was going to happen. Okay, I'll take that. That's a fair trade. I could main phase the Disenchant to get an extra card on the main phase, but I want him to pay a life, and I don't want him to know that I have the Disenchant. So I think I'm supposed to Disenchant in response here, so that if I draw a worm off of the compost, I can Madness it. Oh no, I can't, because I'm out of mana. Yeah, this is fine. I have to use mana on the Disenchant. Can I kill both of these? Okay, good sequence. Probably the best possible sequence, honestly. He actually doesn't have a ton of removal spells that kill Arrogant Worm. Okay. I guess that gets the strands. Yeah, new MTGA update. I'm glad you noticed. Yeah, it could be Snuff Out. Snuff Out would at least give me a card. Combos is a hell of a card. Did have Snuff Out. Okay. That's good. I mean, we got time. He's got 2 cards in hand as an arena. And now we have another worm too, which is good. Is that the 3rd worm? It is the 3rd worm. Okay. Thankfully, the Shade... It's got 1 card left. Let's go get a Forest. Discard this. Cast you. No response. No response. So I guess the question here is, do I want to discard my Prismatic Strands? No, because if I discard it, he's just going to eat it with the Withered Wretch. So I think it's just better to hold the Strands in hand for a potential turn where he decides to block with Shade, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to keep the Strands in hand, I think. That's very good. That is an insane draw. Okay, so he knows about this. Well, he actually doesn't know about the Strands. I'm just going to go to combat, because he might just double block. Okay, goes to 4. I mean, now we just win the race with Scroll. I don't even need to kill his creatures. I'm just going to win the race with this Curse Scroll. Like, sure, I could kill a creature here, but I don't see what the point is. He's just dead next turn. Yeah, I guess I'll keep stop, but... Alright. That match felt like a slog. Oh. Just 19 trophy leader, huh? I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, he's playing a trophy match too? Yeah. I would also highly recommend doubting. I think it is in your best interest to doubt. You got 15 seconds left to doubt, chat. I'm just saying, I know what I would vote on this match. I don't even believe in myself. My hand's good. Yeah, they usually play Dreadnought. Force Spike is legal, yeah. Oh my god. I don't think I can ever beat this deck. I don't even have sideboard cards for combo. Interesting. How's my white green creature deck do against Storm? You know, probably not great. It's probably not great. Anyways, here's a 2-mana 2/2. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I think they're gonna kill me. No, they're not playing tricks. They're like Sapphire Medallion, Helm of Awakening. It's just like... It's just Storm. With, what's it called? Snap, Cloud of Fairies, Frantic Search, like ways to make a bunch of extra mana. It's just Storm. They're 12. How close am I to killing next turn? Probably not very close. You just played against them? Oh, really? Okay. I guess I've never seen anybody play tricks before, so... I didn't know that was the thing that people did in this format. But I'll believe you. Taking it all? Hold. Hard cast Gush. Alright, I'm in. Can I gain life at all? Not game 1. Postboard we have the thing. what thing? Postboard, we have the Cloak, but I'm not going to board in Cloak against them. I don't think. Is it really hardcast Glory? No, there's no way. I'm not doing that. Alright. It would have been nice if they didn't gain 20 life, but unfortunately they did. It makes this a lot harder when they gain 20 life. We get a lot more work to do. So what, they just go do that and then donate? So then I have to pay 4 and then 6? Which I guess is possible, right? Yeah, we do have a lot of naturalizes. A lot of disenchants. Oh. Alright. I'll take it, I guess. Couldn't he still pay one more turn? I guess if he pays, he's tapped out. Alright, 3 more disenchants for a total of 4. Crumble only kills artifacts, so we don't want that. Do we want destroy all non-aura enchantments? Yeah, definitely. I assume we don't need plow against them. And then maybe like 1 call the herd. Maybe actually glory is probably not necessary, right? You really think cloak? I mean, I guess if you just get 1 cloak hit in, you go to 24, you can just easily take 20. Yeah, it might not be that unreasonable. No, I know what illusions does. I could see it. Just like cut all the glories. I don't think glory has any text against them. It doesn't seem like they're interacting with my creatures at all. Green, factory, no discard outlet, no white. Can't keep this. Plains, a bunch of green cards. I'm keeping this one. Mostly because I have 2 lions and a disenchant. I think it's fine. City of Brass. I wonder what their second color is. I guess that could just be for, like, fire ice. Oh. Wait, I hope he doesn't have fire. Oh, no. You would tell me if you had fire ice, right? Opponent, you would tell me if you had fire ice, wouldn't you? Not like this, man. Not like this. I know exactly what's going to happen now. I can't really play around it, can I? Like, what am I going to do? Just not cast my cards? I know he has it, too. I know he has it. Alright, don't worry. Doubters, you're still alive. You're still very, very alive. Yeah, I guess they might also have Pyroclasm. I'm at 19? I mean, I can't go for it into red mana, can I? If they tap out next turn, I can go for Cloak. But not this turn. This turn, it's pretty bad. Sapphire Medallion. Okay. I don't think... That's kind of interesting. I'm going to see if they float a red. Florent gifting a sub to JPSN54. Thank you for the gifted, Florent. I appreciate that. All right, chat. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Oh, yeah. Time to get busy. Beep, beep, motherfucker. And now we can tank a 20 hit from Illusion, so we're good. I almost don't even care if they go for the combo here. Why don't we... I should factory here. I guess I should play the Root Walla first. In case he has, like, Mana Leak or some weird shit. Alright, 6 ya. Yeah, now if they have the combo, we can just tank a hit. You know, maybe this was bad. Like, how do I lose if I just hold up Disenchant? Because if they go for the combo, I just disenchant the thing in response. I feel like it was probably better to hold up Disenchant there than go for Factory. Yeah, this was bad. Because now I can't disenchant this. I don't know why I did this. Yeah, that was dumb. Or just, like, hold the Root Walla. I don't know why I did this. This was so bad. I mean, I'm not paying. Clean minus 20. So now we just do... Well, 23, huh? 4, 7. Do we animate or do we play a Patrol Hound? Kind of want to play a Patrol Hound. Yeah, I think I want to play a Patrol Hound. So let's do that. And then hold up Disenchant. Yeah, playing that Root Walla last turn was bad. I should have just held up Disenchant. I kind of forgot they could just, like, do the thing in this, like, do both things in the same turn. I don't know why I forgot that. I just, like, brain farted on that. I'm sorry, what? How do I beat that? How do you expect me to beat that card? I guess we just go around it. Oh. So I'm at 11. If I gain 8 this turn, but I can just pay once. So I guess we just put Cloak here, right? Yeah, we just put Cloak here. Yeah, they could have Bolt, I guess. Maybe it was... Well, no, I couldn't put anything else. Just do this. Could have gained 12. Oh, because it stacks? I guess you're right, yeah. We're taking the trade, okay. I don't mind that. So we're at 19. Yeah, now I could just pay. If they do the combo, I could just pay once for it. No, I know. So if I put the cloak on the other one, then I could have gained 12. That's not nice. They used both their red mana, okay. I see. Well, now that they're holding up Counterspell, I'll just hit for 6. Hold. Hold. I think we got this one. Mishra's Factory. Or 1. I feel like maybe I missed the damage somewhere, but I don't know where I did. Hold. I mean, I could just take 20 more if you want, honestly. They said, GG, I don't think I can win this match. It did kind of seem like a tough matchup for them. Just like racing and, I don't know, a lot pilot racing, pile of disenchants. How do I respond to this? I'm not sure how I respond to that. No thank you, smile? I guess that's fine, right? I guess no thank you, smile is good. That's kind of a weird question to ask. Like, I don't know. I'm still playing for prize, you know? It's kind of a weird question to ask. All right, Mishra's Factory. Combat. We're in there. We did it. We did it. Believers up. Look at that. The believers. Look at that. Holy. You kidding me? The believers are up massive. Holy. The believers can all blame Jose. Because Jose said just go all in on no. So, you know, that's all Jose's fault. All right, folks, that was White-Green Madness. That deck was sweet as hell. Closing thoughts. I mean, I don't know. Still thinking. I do think this is the deck that I am going to bring to the big event this weekend, so... Yeah, not really a ton to say. I mean, the Savannah Lions, definitely the weakest card in this deck, but I think they serve a pretty decent purpose in terms of just giving you more aggressive lines. This deck just wants to be as aggressive as possible, so they help facilitate your game one plans, but they typically come out in a lot of the post-board games when you want to be like a little bit more interactive. So yeah, that's all I really got. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.